I don't even know where to start for this review. Okay, so recently I was looking through my Steam library and came across Deus Ex Human Revolution, which is one of my favorite games of all time, and right above it was this other game, Deus Ex Game of the Year Edition. Heard all these great things about how the new games don't compare to the original, and honestly, I have no clue what these people are talking about. Is Deus Ex 2000 the best RPG ever? Let's take a look and find out. Deus Ex came out in 2000 and was made by Ion Storm and published by Eidos Interactive. The game is most famous for not including the Twin Towers in the New York skyline. Wait a minute, didn't this game come out in 2000? No, in reality this game is most famous for the freedom it gave you to do what you wanted. You want to skip the boss by uttering a phrase that immediately kills them? You can do that. You want to kill your boss? You can do that. Go in the women's bathroom? You can do that. And have it commented on by your boss.
Thank you, sir. By the way, Denton, stay out of the ladies' restroom. That kind of activity embarrasses the agency more than it does you.
Deus Ex takes place in 2049 in a world where human augmentation has become commonplace and the world is on the brink of collapse. You play as JC Denton, an operative that is part of UNATCO, which was formed to protect society from the growing concerns of terrorism. Oh, and there's also the concern of a massive supervirus called the Grey Death that is killing people off at a crazy rate. There is a vaccine called Ambrosia, but only government officials and very wealthy individuals are able to receive it. So, a terrorist organization called the NSF have made it their mission to acquire the vaccine for everyone. What ensues is absolute chaos as the game tries to make up its mind on what it wants to be. Without going into too much detail, the story goes from 1 to 1000 in the span of 2 hours, and it never really lets up even after the 12 hours it took me to beat it. This game is very confusing though. I think the best way to describe this game is to talk about a movie. Most people have probably heard of Prometheus. It came out a few years ago, and in the midst of watching it, you become confused as characters and themes become mixed up and die off. Only later, after you watch a 30-minute video on the story explanation, do you get the whole picture. That's how I felt playing Deus Ex. I was invested in what was happening, but I was very confused the whole time it was happening. The game is straightforward at first, but when they start sending me off to talk with secret societies that control the world, I started to become gradually confused to the point I forgot who the main villain was and why he was doing the things he was doing. The story is very convoluted, but highly enjoyable. If you enjoy complex storytelling, then this game is for you. Now your character is a new prototype augmented agent, who is nearly indistinguishable from the average population. This means you get to access some of the craziest upgrades in a game I've ever seen. You want to turn invisible? How about absorb bullets like they're paper? Or maybe you'd like to become invisible to cameras and turrets. Oh wait, you can do all of that at the same time. The augmentation system in this game allows the player to tweak his abilities to his playstyle. Maybe you want to be an invisible ninja who kills nobody, or a super beefy melee build, or in the case of me, a bullet-absorbing machine with a rocket launcher. The game also has a skill system for things like lockpicking weapons, but I honestly sometimes forgot it existed. I focused mainly on the weapons skills, but in order to play this game you need to decide the build you want from the beginning, because if you don't, then you will invest randomly and be at a massive disadvantage. It's very basic in the fact that upgrading weapon skills makes you more accurate, upgrading lockpicking makes you better at lockpicking, basic RPG stuff. You gain skill points from progress and side objectives. Now, here is where the game actually starts to fall apart. This game has some of the worst gunplay I've ever seen in my entire life. If you want to shoot, here's the 3 steps. 1. Put your crosshair over an enemy. 2. Wait a million years. 3. Get shot at and die because you're butter. This game has a very weird system, and that your reticle only appears when you aim at an enemy, and it starts out like hipfire spread in a COD game, then gradually shrinks. But here's the thing, the gun shoots like it's drunk. You think you might be aiming at something, and then it misses. I died over 150 times to do this review, and many of those deaths were due to the stupid game mechanics. I honestly don't understand who put this system in, because even if you are patient, it screws you over. Okay, on a positive note, this game does have a good variety of weapons. There's your pistol, assault rifle, pump shotgun, assault shotgun, sniper rifle, and rocket launcher. But the game becomes crazy and lets you use plasma rifles, a lock-on rocket launcher, and a freaking nano sword, which is game language for lightsaber. The only thing is, if you choose to use some of these, you will run out of ammo very quickly. Just as you start having fun with a gun, the game gives you no ammo for it. I used the shotgun for most of the game, but the enemies are bullet sponges and take 3 shells to kill. So that's cool, I guess, but they only drop fucking 2 shells when they die. Oh, this game also has the worst assault rifle in game ever. It shoots peas or something, so that's cool, I guess. You can modify these weapons to reduce the recoil, reload time, and reticle shrink time. You can also put scopes, laser sights, and silencers on some guns, so whatever. This game has a limb system for your head, torso, arms, and legs. You already walk slowly, and if you break your legs and you don't have medkits, guess what? You have to crouch walk everywhere. The first time this happened, I nearly became insane. Break your arms? Guess what? That's right. The aiming system screws you over even more. I am trying very hard to find more good things to say about this game. Oh, the level design is cool, I guess. You go to New York, Hong Kong, and Paris, as well as some more exotic locations like an underwater base. The levels are designed for stealth and exploration, it seems, so you're always rewarded for opening back areas and hunting for secrets. The music for these levels is good too. It's supposed to be a dystopian future and the music sometimes captures that. It's very synthy and catchy. This game does not hold your hand. If you want to get a code for something, you have to find it and type it at the terminal yourself. And yes, it is case sensitive. The game says screw you to people who aren't playing stealthy, it seems, as the aiming system and ammo seems to be a detriment, as well as beefy bullet sponge enemies that kill you very quickly. But here's what's odd. I kept coming back. The game kept drawing me back, so I could see what was going to happen next, and at the end you can even choose between 4 different outcomes. The bosses can be entirely skipped and avoided by killing them earlier, finding some other way around. People respond to your actions like your boss calling you out on going in the ladies' room. This game keeps you going by wanting to know what comes next. The performance, meanwhile, was awful. I honestly have no idea what it is, but Deus Ex seems to hate modern hardware. My frames randomly dropped in some areas and the game doesn't like water? I don't know at this point. This game keeps sabotaging itself. I'm willing to bet there's a mod out there that fixes these issues, but I couldn't find it. So would I recommend this game? Honestly, I don't know. This game kept making me not want to play it, but I kept coming back, so maybe that's a sign I'm missing something? I mean, it is a classic RPG that everyone says is the best, so maybe if you want that experience, then you can give it a try. If you want an interesting story, play this game. Otherwise, go play Mass Effect or something. I don't know. What do I know? I only suffered through this game for 18 hours. The best RPG? Very far from it. The worst RPG I've ever played? No. If you want, give this game a try. Otherwise, stay far away from it and go play the new ones. I'm ReallyBadGaming, and thanks for watching.